Good morning. I always love my little intro. It's like, yo, you guys always see me pausing. I get mesmerized by it too. Anyway, let me jump right into it today. Taming the email beast. We are at a stage where they told us that technology was going to really help us to be more efficient. They lied to us, okay? Completely. So, how do you tame the email overwhelm? How do you manage that email overload and regain control of your day? Well, today I have on Miss Sarah Tetlow. Thank you for being on the show, Miss Sarah.
Thank you so much, Paula. I'm so happy to be here with you.
So, Sarah is the CEO and owner of, well, let me move myself over because I think I disappeared. Sarah is the CEO and owner of Firm Focus. She is an experienced productivity consultant, trainer, and speaker. She works with attorneys as well as other busy professionals. But I'm going to pause for a second, Sarah. Listen, when I first got out of college, we really heard productivity consultants on the large client end. And of course, it's kind of dating me a little bit. I'm old. But now we're seeing it on the smaller to mid-sized business end. Can you elaborate to us just a little bit as to what at this stage of the game is a productivity consultant?
Absolutely. And I was going to make a joke about how you just got out of college like 2 years ago, I thought, but you already touched on that. So, so I work largely, there are productivity consultants that can come in at the organization level, and there are many great ones that I have collaborated with that will come in and touch the corporation or the firm at an overall scale. I come in and I work more with the individual. And part of that is because of technology, as technology has become part of our day to day, who is not tied to that little black box all day long. Absolutely. That even in the last 15 years has evolved from something that you answer a phone and you can maybe send a black and white text to it is a computer in our hand pulling us away all the time. And so I work more on the individual level or with small teams, helping people manage their workday more effectively, mitigate those distractions, those interruptions, prioritize effectively, create some boundaries, overcome some procrastination, analysis paralysis, and perfectionism, all of these variables that can really impact the way we approach our workday and get more done, feel more accomplished, get better sleep.
I'm telling you, you just said a mouthful. I remember going away to vacation, came back, and I'm like, how many emails are in my email box? I'm like, it just made me cry. I'm like, it's gonna just unravel everything that I just did on vacation. But this rolls us perfectly into our topic today about taming the email beast. Share with us how that ties in exactly.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I work with individuals. And so some of that is coaching or I do speaking. But one of the biggest variables that we deal with, one of the biggest things I kept hearing from my clients during coaching was that, yes, we can set up all of these systems, workflows, prioritize the work, but those emails get in the way all day long. Other people who need you, solicitation, vendors, you buy something, you sign up for something, you watch something, and next thing you know, you're getting those emails. And it's never ending. We're just adding more and more on the plate. I kind of contributed to a Jelly Belly variety pack. It's fun, it's colorful, it's flavorful. But if you're not super intentional about what flavor you're picking out, then this constantly filling Jelly Belly pack can get really, really overwhelming. So I also help people tame that email beast. And I do that through a system I developed that's not just what to do with the email, but actually connecting our human habits to the technology so that you can then master your inbox more effectively.
So that summary is that your art system? That because I think I was reading through one of your newsletters and you mentioned it. I did not get a chance to read that newsletter. Forgive me. But this is a perfect time for you to share with me in a brief summary. Can you share with us what that Sarah Tetlow system is exactly?
Yes. So in anything, and you were right, it is my ART system. It's called the ART Email Productivity System, or the ART system. And to take a step back for just a moment, in anything we do, this is you'll read about this in a lot of productivity books. You got David Allen, Getting Things Done, a lot of other productivity gurus out there. And in anything that we do, any task, any project, you can do it, you can delay it in the future, you can diminish it, break it down, you can delegate it, ask somebody else to do it, or you can delete it. So those are your choices, and they're known as the 5 Ds. With email, it's not much different. We get emails that we need to do. We get emails that we need to do in the future. We need something back to unlock some bottlenecks. We need to break down the email because it's a massive ask or a massive project, or we just need to delete the email. And then there's a 6th option with email, which is we don't need to do anything with the email. We are done with the email, but we don't want to delete the email. And that's where I see a lot where people, it just hangs out in that inbox, and the inbox grows and grows and grows and grows. Yeah. So the ART system is my acronym for those 5 Ds. We have action, reference, tracking, and trash. And that's what I teach. The ART system connecting to those 5 Ds, or just forcing people to make that decision about email and move it from your inbox so that your Jelly Belly variety pack doesn't continue filling up on you, that it's actually quite intentional.
Nice. I love it. Repeat the acronym again for me. It's action,
reference, tracking, and trash. And in my workshops, I go deep into what ART is, giving examples and then showing what to do with those emails when they are action, reference, tracking, or trash.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yes. Actually, for me, I'm using 3D. So I was very kind of ears like crinkled up for there's 5, and now you're saying there's a 6. But the 3 has, can I tell you, and, listen, audience, you're listening to what Sarah's saying is so true. That D, the last D, delete, has been very liberating, actually, because it's like, well, on my personal email, I can, something, if I want something on Groupon, I can just go to Groupon, they will send another email later. But for now, get it out of the box. It's like, why are you coming to my business email? What did I do accidentally that would tell you that I want you to send me an email here, But that D has been like terrific, because it's like, well, being honest with yourself. It's like, I am not going to have the time to read this. So just go ahead and delete it now, or get myself off that list. You know what I mean?
Give yourself that gift that when it becomes a priority, when you need that Groupon, you will have more Groupon emails, or you will likely remember, I am going to go do XYZ. Let me check Groupon and see what their current offers are. So give yourself the gift to hit that delete button more often.
It feels really good. I have to say, I've been doing it for like 2 years now. That D, delete, it's like when I first read it, was like, delete it? Shouldn't I put it somewhere? It's like, no, you're not going to use it. You're never going to read that email newsletter. Pick the ones that you really want to. So now I put them in a read folder, and I read them on the weekends. Like yours, I love the productivity stuff. So I'm like, put it over there. You know what I mean? The rest, just get rid of them. You're never going to have time to do all, and it's okay. Forgive yourself. It's all literally, I had to forgive myself. You can't get it all done. It's okay. Yeah. There's only 24 hours, like let it go, So, all right. Why do you advise against just leaving the messages in the email box? Because you kind of led into this. Explain that to me exactly.
Yeah. So leaving the messages in your inbox, that whether you're an Outlook or Gmail user, there's a count that's showing you have 7,000 messages. And now a lot of times I hear people say unread or read, but really, whether it's read or unread, it doesn't, at the end of the day, matter. There's still 7,000 things sitting in, or more or less, but there are still, let's say, 7,000 items sitting in your inbox requiring you to make movements. So if we compare it to your physical mail, you have a mailbox. That's your inbox, right? So imagine if your mailman puts mail in there and you pull it out and go, yeah, here's a bill, an auto pay bill. It's been paid. I'm going to shove it back in my mailbox. It's open. I ripped open the seam, so I know it's read, but I'm just going to put it back in that mailbox. So that's the overwhelm that keeping emails in your inbox is creating. Even though you know you read it, even though you know you don't have an action to do, by leaving it in your inbox, you still have an action to do. You didn't delete it or file it away in the filing cabinet. And so that's part of what I teach in that workshop. And I really want to drive home to people is touch once, or in some cases, it may require touch twice. And that's usually the ones where you delegated it, so you need something back, or it's something in the future. So you're going to need to touch it again. And so I'll show you what to do with those emails by using folders and everything. But to give a tip here today, think in terms of touch once and then make movement. So the easy ones, obviously, are those deletes. Or if you use folder structures, that's your archive, that's your filing cabinet. So you take the bill out of the mailbox, you open it up, you see that it's auto pay, and you put it in your filing bin. So that's getting it out of that inbox and not having overwhelm. Nice. And if you rely on read and unread, that can be faulty, as we have probably learned the hard way. You mark something as unread because you want to get back to it today or tomorrow. But then more emails come in and that unread message falls below your real estate. Exactly. Or you accidentally hover over it and it becomes read. And so that system has proven for people the hard way that it can be highly ineffective. You have a client really upset because they sent you something, you saw it, you pulled it out of the mailbox, you ripped it open and went, I really need to do this. I'm going to lick it back shut, but I'm going to shove it back into those 7,000 messages. And the search function also relies a little bit too much on human memory. Yes, it's great for technology, but you have to be able to go into the search function and know who sent it to me, or what terms did they use, or around what date. And so by moving emails out of your inbox, then you're relying on the search function a little less often, because at least you're minimizing some of the messages that are living in your email world by moving them to delete or filing them in subfolders. So I guess I'm going to jump straight into, because I hear a lot of strategies coming at me here in just all of the things that you're saying. Can you offer us like 3 email time-saving strategy to move us forward? Yeah, of course. Okay, so one, we've sort of touched on it, which is think about the future you and how much you are thinking the future you is going to do. So you said it yourself, Paula, the newsletters, the webinars, the stuff that come into your inbox, the Groupons that you think in the moment, oh my gosh, I'd really like to read this. I'd really like to watch this replay. I'd really like to peruse the Groupons that are being offered right now and use them. But give, again, that gift to your future you, because you are stacking up so many wishes thinking that Paula next week or Sarah next week or John next week is going to actually have time to do some of these things. And so that delete button. You won't? If you don't have time now, what's next week? What's going to happen next week that's going to change? So why are you trying to read my mind, Sarah Tetlow? I'm not appreciating it. So give the gift to your future you and help your future you out to not stack too much on your calendar or on that wishful thinking. And if you're uncomfortable with that delete button, because some people are, I will be candid, I'm probably an email hoarder, but I put them in archive folder drawers. So I've got a filing bin up the walls in my email, but it's high level categories and then subfolders so that I can file things away. But I know that if I want to reread what Paula has sent me, I can go to resources, PM marketing, San Francisco, and see that. And it's there and it's nicely in that Manila folder for me.
Nice.
So that's one tip, is give the gift to your future self.
I like that.
And do the action today, one touch when possible.
I love that.
The second tip, your deleted items should be deleted. So a lot of times what I'll hear, not everybody, but some people have the habit of deleting and then they never empty that deleted item folder. So when I compare it to a home again, because everyone has a home of some sort, we put our stuff in the trash out on the side of our house.
Yeah.
And then once a week, or if you're in San Francisco, you put it in the chute or walk it down to the main dumpster area. And then once a week, that truck pulls up and takes it all away.
Exactly.
And so your deleted items in your email, I encourage you to actually delete them. And just a super quick tip, not for every Outlook user, but most Outlook users, you can actually go into your settings and tell it to automatically empty the trash for you every time you log out. And it'll ask you, do you want to do this? But that way you can just constantly clear it out.
Same thing for G Suite as well. Because I do mine every 30 days.
Okay.
Get rid of it. Yeah. Just so I have it just in case. But really, you rarely do. I mean, I can't ever remember a time going back, So yeah.
No. And you don't want to, because if your habit is that you're searching your deleted items, there's something broken there. That's not a healthy habit, because now you're basically taking an inbox and then shifting it to a more convoluted, messy inbox. And if you're searching in there, let's scale back a step. Don't put anything in delete that you might need, but still get it out of your inbox. And that's what the subfolders are for, or in the case of Gmail, your labels are for, so that you can save things, and that's okay, but let's get it out of that inbox.
Nice.
The third takeaway, which is, this is going to be opposite of what a lot of productivity experts might say, but I'm different. I am going to tell you, yes, check email in the morning. But let me give that with a caveat.
As soon as you start your day?
What's that?
As soon as you start your day?
As soon as you arrive at your desk to start your work day. So I'm not talking about you wake up and you look at your phone. That's not what I'm suggesting.
Okay.
But a lot of productivity experts, what they're going to say is eat that frog first. So you arrive to your desk, and what you should do is that big highest priority, that big rock, and jump right in.
Oh boy, yeah. And
while that is incredibly healthy habit to have, I work mostly with lawyers, but also other busy professionals, CPAs and doctors, and nobody has that habit. We all check email first thing in the morning. And so I'm here to say that is okay. That is what I do. But know what your priorities are for the day first. So the night before, what is on your schedule tomorrow? What are the top 3 things you need to do to get done tomorrow? So that you already know before you look at email, what are my priorities? Where am I going to invest my time? What's important to me? Because then when you check email, you'll have clarity on where the messages that have come in lie. Do they bump something that you have already established as a priority for yourself? Or do you need to communicate to the sender that the expectations of, great, I got this, I'm adding it to my project list, I will have something to you by early next week. And obviously you're going to know what's acceptable for your team, for your clients, for your boss, for your colleagues, but you can start to set some expectations because you know what you need to get done and where all of these messages fall into play. And then the last bit on this tip that I want to give is also, and this is achievable like with the ART system, when you have messages out of your inbox, so now you're just dealing with what has arrived in real time, then it doesn't feel so overwhelming, and you actually can set a limit on how long you check emails. So on that same tip, I'm not saying show up to your desk and check email for 2 hours. Check email for 10, 15 minutes, basically to triage messages. Okay. These I can delete. These I can file. These I need to quickly send a reply. And these are big projects, and so they need to land on my project list that I can manage. So
when I know one of the things that productivity consultants also recommend is like units of 25, kind of sitting so that you're productive, you're focused on your work, your body's working better, so everything's aligned. Get up for 5 minutes,
Yep.
get a glass of water, whatever, walk around. But you know what I find is in the morning, even the do it, for me, it's do it, delegate it, or delete it concept still takes more than that 25 minutes. And so, really, I'm looking at an hour of dedicated time to really look at what's going on. But what I'm loving that you said today, Sarah, was I'm hearing using the beast to help yourself because the email structure already has so many automated items that we're not even utilizing. I mean, I just stumbled on the delete automatically function like in January. How long
Yeah.
have you been using email? And evidently that function's been around for a while, you know? So, as a little extra bonus, are there any other little, because I'm making time this weekend, my dear, to set up some folders and see if I can maybe automatically have by client, by my topics, my little reading topics, and have them laid out that way so I can organize my day. And when I go in, my only fear with that, because I had that happen with a client of mine who was practicing that, but he wasn't getting any of my emails. We were in a priority project situation. Branding, we did branding, we were doing website, photo shoot was happening. He was getting zero messages.
No.
Gifts were going out to clients. He was leaving a much larger company, and literally, I'd have to say, what a gift. Like about 85% of his clients were just, we're leaving, he's leaving, we're leaving too, we're going with him. So,
Wow.
but now we're sending gifts out to them to just kind of gratitude, thank you, blah, blah, blah. We've onboarded you. He's not getting any of those messages. Every day I'm getting, why aren't things done? What's going on? Why am I not hearing from you? It's like, is everything
I
okay? Until he figured out, it's like he was so efficient. He was too efficient.
yeah.
And he wasn't seeing the things that he was supposed. So in a case like that, because I feel like I've heard that scenario a few times.
Mhm.
What's a solution that you'd offer for that one item? Because that's one I hear quite a bit.
Yeah, so the reason I'm pausing on my words for a moment is because this gets really, really deep because right now, so I'm assuming in that case they were landing in his junk or his spam or his
No, he was organizing them in a marketing folder. So he
ah,
was doing, I mean, he
yes.
had it all, it was a beautiful thing. He had it all organized. He wasn't going to the folders because he was focused on this, all the clients coming. That was a priority, of course,
Yep.
right? And so is there a way for you to be alerted or I don't know. Because I feel like friends of mine have dropped the system because of that one little thing where they felt like they were missing.
Yep.
What's the disconnect there? Because it sounds like an awesome system and
Yeah.
it sounds like we're all messing it up.
It is. So here's the answer, and I'm going to use the physical mail as an example. What's happening in this situation when people set up rules because they think, oh, I have a folder for marketing and I want new messages to go there. That's a great idea. But the blue bold number is lost in your folders. It's buried and you don't think to look there. So using the physical example, that's as if you get your electricity bill and instead of the mailman putting it in your mailbox, you tell the mailman that I want you to go open my filing cabinet, find for us locally it's PG&E, but whatever your electricity is, find that folder and drop my bill in there. It's organized, but how do you know it's there?
Yes.
So that's part of my system is we don't want that to happen. So setting up rules to send messages into folders that you've built is actually a very bad practice for this very reason.
Okay.
And so part of what I teach is a holding zone, essentially. So you get the bill in your mailbox, that's your inbox, that's okay. But before we put it in the filing cabinet in the manila folder, we need to keep it somewhere in our system to still pay that bill. And so that's what I'm essentially teaching, our human habits connected to the technology. What do you do with an email that is something that you need to do in the future? So in his case, what he was doing was healthily, is that a word? I'm going to say healthily.
I like it, and I'm going to support you. Don't judge us, people out there.
So I'm going to use it again. He healthily was batching communications by you, which is a great thing to do. He just was a little overzealous on a step. First, they need to be batched somewhere else before they can move to the filing cabinet. Okay. And so
we need to have like a staging area, which is the email box then, and see it, because it's important to still see it and then move it to our zone.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah, that's what's happening a lot when people set up rules, is they move it into the filing cabinet, and we can't do that because you don't know it's there, and then your systems break. So with the art system, I'm teaching you inbox, maybe put it in the filing bin right away, maybe put it in the trash can right away, or maybe we need to put it into our to be paid, to be scheduled, to be responded to work on. We need something back from this person. That's what I really work on, is those habits and what to do with those emails.
I absolutely love that, Miss Sarah Tetlow. I'm like, because like it was a nightmare for us doing our projects, and literally he was trying to figure out, we were actively trying to figure it out together, and was just so frustrated. I mean, it worked out really well. We're still working together. He was amazing. But if someone wants to get in touch with you, my dear, and or go to one of, because I know you do quite a few webinars and trainings to elevate. When's your next webinar coming up?
Yeah.
And how can people get in touch with you?
Sure. So my website is, and I'm sure we can put it in the comments, firm-focus.com. So firm and then -focus.com. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. You can find me Sarah M. Tetlow on LinkedIn. And I do have a workshop. Actually, there's an art workshop coming up this Monday, July 19th. And I realize that's very quick. And so people's calendars do fill up. I will be offering another one on September 1st is the next one after that. So I do teach the art concept in a 2-hour workshop. And that does come with a 1-hour private session, because teaching the workshop is one thing, but then when I have the 1 hour with you, that's where I'm asking questions about, how do you think, what does your practice or your business look like? What do you call these categories? Because I might call it an association, you might call it business development. It might be a different terminology. So I help you land on what works for your way of thinking so that you can level up your email beast.
And so what time is this going to be on Monday? This is the upcoming Monday, by the way, guys. What time is it?
10 a.m. Pacific.
Do me a favor, Sarah, for the viewers out there, send me the link. I will share it on Facebook for you as well. And, something, I'll give you a shout out on my LinkedIn page as well, because I've used your services. I'm a client as well, folks. So I don't know if that's a conflict of interest. So what? It's my show. I think Sarah's awesome. Whatever. And Sarah, thank you so much for being on the show today. As always, guys, listen. This advice that the show that I offer is not meant for any kind of replacement on seeking professional assistance. So if you need the help, please reach out to Sarah. I will have her information in the link below after the show. And as always, if you're looking for any marketing, and please reach out to Power Marketing as well. You can get a ton of information there. And a little known secret, by the way, is that marketing and operations is a love story. Marketing will not work without proper operational practices. So this is a reason why I do the show every week. And again, I'm going to say it again, I am dedicated to offering consultants to the rest of the year how to up level, how to build better business owners, how to help our businesses. My focus is going to be squarely there in the consultants that I'll have on for you guys. So please come back, rewatch, share the show. I'm going to do a quote from myself today. And the quote that I've been doing all along in COVID is fight visibility, fight obscurity, and stay visible. It is so important right now to not be overwhelmed by the crazy and stay in the positive, because out of this crazy that's going on, there are so many wonderful positive things that are happening like right now that you can be a part of. So every Thursday, I am live with another one of my 10s at 10 on my show. Again, viewers, you continue to amaze me. I appreciate your support. Stay strong and keep moving forward, guys. Bye. Thank you so much, Sarah, for being on.
Paula, thank you. This is a